All right, happy Friday, everybody! Yay! Look at the we got the Test Talk with Ty logo inside the television there on the Patreon page. Hey, shout out to you Patreon supporters. I'm not here without you guys. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Yo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Welcome. Okay, do me a favor. Like the show, like the video, please. Share the content if you'd be so kind, like my boy Haas does every time I go live on. He shares on Twitter. I see you, Haas. Keep doing it. And even if you're not here live, even if you're just watching after the fact, share the content. You guys, that's the only way this channel gets any growth at all, is when you find viewers of mine. You know I love you. But when you guys go that extra step and you interact with the channel, you like, but then sharing is caring. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to necessarily be on social media. You can send it via text. I don't know. Maybe you have a father-in-law, who's looking for some Razorback content. My father-in-law watches my stuff. Oh, yeah, hogville.net. We go check out the website, right? Free content, everything there you need. Again, 100% free, no paywalls, anything like that. We do have a new video up on hogville.net. Just kind of a follow-up of the last video I did talking about some of the preseason love that Arkansas was getting, or off-season love. But then I'm kind of taking it all in, like where we're at as a program, right? Football, basketball, baseball. You've got what's going on with the softball team, all the greatness that's happening on campus. So go check that video out. Do me a favor, share that video too. You got to just share, man. Ladies and gentlemen, got to share. Sharing is caring after all. So shout out again to Patreon supporters. Believe me, man, I'm not, the way I see this, I'm not here unless I have some kind of support, right? And you guys who watch this live, you're a big reason, but so are the Patreon supporters who are financially giving a little bit to this channel to keep this thing afloat. And then, of course, not just those guys, but also our Discord's got jokes. Also, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, the show's lone sponsor, who offers same-day services, emergency service 24/7, 365 days a year, free estimates, quality parts, affordable outcomes, hundreds of 5-star reviews, and better than best results. Give them a call today at 501-244-3667. Again, that's 501-244-3667. All right. Also, I got to answer. So, yeah, I've been in Galveston, right? When did we leave? My God. Was it? I don't even remember when we left. Friday? Did we leave Friday? We were there all the way up until Wednesday, and then we drove back all the way here, about a 9+ hour drive. It's a brutal drive. I've got a tailbone that hurts like no other. I'm getting old, you guys. I turn 39 next month. But anyways, had a fun trip. My family and I, we went with another group of friends, another couple, and Ashley, who actually did the design that you see here. She did the updated the Test Talk with Ty logo. Ashley Carter, she's awesome. But yeah, but I had some comments, or I had someone comment on a video, and I haven't been able to really. Okay, I'll just put it like this: every once in a while, I'll get someone who gets upset about the empty noise at the first few minutes of the show, right? And I feel like I have to say this, and I get it. Some people are listening in their cars. They're on their way to work, or they're on their way home, or whatever, and they've got an hour to burn, and they want to listen to this show. I appreciate those people, and to that individual who commented, but you have to understand, I have to give the room time to fill up. It's not just there for me, it's also there for you guys who are coming in, and you guys start asking me stuff that we already covered. Typically, chat does a pretty good job of updating whoever comes in late. I get that. And sometimes, you got more than one person that's a little bit confused or a little bit behind. And I always encourage people, watch from the beginning. But to those people that are upset, or to the very rare times I get that comment, I've probably got that same comment about the empty or the dead, the dead time, or the dead air, I guess you could call it. I'm also, during that time, I'm sharing the content on all social media. If you're a member of any Facebook group or any Razorback group on Facebook, you'll probably see that I'm sharing the content there. I view this as a hour-long, fun, laid-back show. You guys know that. And what you get on radio is you get, I don't know how long or how many commercials and ads. Here you just get the one ad, and you got to wait that gap, that time, and then, of course, the introductory phase of the video. But that's because I view this as a show. I think some people view this as a instant click, get the information you want, and get out, and that's not what the hell this is. I get that comment, too, from time to time. That's not what this is. It's a live show. It's an interactive live show. I'm here talking, and trying to convince you guys to share the content and subscribe and all that stuff and liking the video. But so to that individual who's complaining about the dead time or the dead air, listen, I'm one guy. I don't have a producer. I don't have anyone that's doing it's not easy. Like, I'm trying to share the content everywhere, and I'm giving the live chat time to come in and get settled in. This is a live show. Okay, this isn't an instant click, here's your information, bing, bang, boom, edited kind of content. That's not what this is. It is a live show. I view it almost like you're listening to radio. The difference is, I'm not AM or FM. I'm simply internet, right? Simply on YouTube. So, all right, now that we got that out of the way, I have had that comment, and it gets under my skin a little bit because it's like I've explained this multiple times, and I get it. Listen, not everyone can listen to everything I do, and I'm not implying that you should. Maybe you should, but it just crawls under my skin when someone's like, or not even crawl under my skin. It just kind of irks me a little bit. Like, oh, why don't you do something about that dead air? Listen, man, you're just gonna have to fast forward, just like you probably needed to fast forward this first however long we've been live. So, but again, this is a live show. I view it as almost like a radio show, right? It's not bing, bang, boom, instant gratification, instant news, bing, bang, boom, right? We get there and we have fun along the way. And by the way, for those of you who complain and say good luck with that, yeah, I'm over 830,000 views. I'm doing all right. I'm doing fine. Got a sponsor, got a gig with Hogville.net. I think I know what I'm doing, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job of it. Okay. All right, now that we have that out of the way, and I'm sure that individual wasn't trying to be an asshole, but I have had people that were trying to be assholes about it, and about flipped you off. But all right, I'm behind on Razorback news. Well, Patrick, it's a good thing you're here. So let's get it started. Then first off, I want to talk about this stuff with EA Sports is giving us. Now, this wasn't confirmed, I don't believe, by EA. I just saw this right as I was going live, and I thought, all right, I got to bring this up. But points, what they're doing, having information on this, I don't know. But PointsBet Sportsbook, which is one of those blue checkmark websites that I don't know what they have to do with the gaming industry at all, but they're saying on a tweet, I guess this was earlier today, or was this yesterday? No, it was today. 11:48 a.m. earlier today. Breaking, EA is targeting July 2023 to bring back the NCAA football video game franchise. Now, this isn't really breaking news because we've kind of known this. I'll be real honest, I didn't even have time to Google this. Really, if anything, this is kind of a question to you guys, if you guys have seen or heard anything about this. I literally saw this right as I was going live, and I thought, I'm going to bring this up. But this has kind of been known for a while because EA, by the way, they're dropping the name NCAA. It's not going to have NCAA in the title. Not as far. Last I had heard, the things that were up in the air were whether or not we're going to be able to edit our rosters, which I'm sorry, if you can't edit your rosters, to hell with this game. There's no point in buying this game. I'm not going to buy a college football game where I can't even edit the people, edit the players. That's ridiculous. That's why you bought the games. Don't get me wrong. There was a long period of time where you didn't have the internet to go in and find these uploaded rosters. You couldn't even do that. You couldn't do that till like 2004. 2003, when you could actually go to, I think they called it the locker room at one point, the online locker room or whatever, where you could go in and you could download rosters where people have actually put in the names and the sizes and the overall ratings and what have you. So we're kind of spoiled, but hello, it's 2022, man. I'm not in the mood to buy some just a simple skin or reskin of Madden where the players, it's not even based on the real players at all. Now, likeliness was always an issue, but as long as they left that up to the players, to the actual video, the people at home, not the actual football players, not the actual student athletes, but or you could go in and edit the rosters, EA couldn't get in trouble. What were they going to do? I still don't think they would. And I don't know. I've thought about this one. I've gone back and forth as to why they wouldn't want to do this. I just don't know. I don't know anybody that wants to buy a college football game where you can't edit the rosters and they're just mannequins. They're just random people. Who wants to do that? I don't know. That just doesn't sound very appealing to me. I want to be able to download an updated roster. I'm in the college football revamp Discord, by the way, and there's you can get some help there if you want to download the revamped. It's worth it, by the way, if you're computer savvy or if you know your way around that stuff, it's definitely worth it. And you're a fan of college football. I mean, why wouldn't you be? You're here. But, yeah, so, again, the rumor is, and I believe this has been verified, they're dropping NCAA from the title. It's going to be called EA College Football 2024. Now, what's interesting about that is it's been exactly 10 years since we got the last the last EA college football game. It was 2013, right? Because the last game we got was NCAA 14. Well, they always named, that year was always a year ahead of where you're at because that football season ended on that following year. So that's cool. I mean, that's kind of ironic how that works out, but it's going to be exactly a decade. And I think July, I remember a period of time where I thought it came out in June, but I guess maybe it was July for the longest time. But my off-season ritual was buy all the magazines, buy all the preseason magazines, and back before you could actually download and upload rosters and whatever, I would go through, and it took forever, but it was part of the fun. I would go through and just make all the entire roster. It took me forever to do that. I mean, months. And it would be almost 4 games into the season, and I still wasn't done. Now, I didn't do the entire landscape. I would just do like the SEC, But now, in the last, I don't know how. Again, I forgot when they allowed you to do that. But for the longest period of time, now you've been able to just go download somebody's roster that they've uploaded to the I don't know what, I forget what it's called, but you could still do that today. As a matter of fact, you can just go fire up NCAA 14. The servers are still up, and you can go do whatever. You can download an updated roster. So, yeah, Notre Dame is playing right now. Did you guys watch Oklahoma? I'm not gonna lie, I was cheering on the Sooners. Boomer Sooner. I know around here we hate Oklahoma. It is a unwritten rivalry in this part of the state with Oklahoma. But I cannot stand Texas A&M, and I'm so happy they lost today. I hope they see an early exit. You interact with chat more than anyone. Yeah, that's just that's how this is. This isn't click, instant gratification, instant news, bing, bang, boom. That's not what this is. We have fun. We talk. We go through it. I read chat. You just keep doing what you're doing, my dude. I like the dead space. I get to see my name. That's true. You do with the screen, with the Patreon screen. Notre Dame 1-0 on top of Texas right now. Now it's 2-0. Okay, I'm trying to scroll down here. July for NCAA football and August for Madden is what I. Yeah, now Madden was always in August. Yeah, but I thought it was June for the longest time. It's been so long. Basketball game next, I hope. Yeah, I hope we get. I'll be honest, I never got into college basketball video games, or even NBA. NBA Jam was my thing back in the 90s. I didn't mean that in a bad way either, Ty. Oh no, I hear you, Swag. I know what you meant. I got you, my man. You ever thought about doing radio? Sean Drury asked. ironically, I have done radio, but not officially. Not officially. But I was, a long time ago, they did this thing on 104.9 The X, Matt's Beer Run. I don't know if any of you were local, if you remember that back in the early 2000s. I did Matt's Beer Run with my roommate, Donley. We both wanted to be on radio, and so I tried it, and it was a lot of fun. I have that cassette tape somewhere. I got to find it, and then I got to find something that plays a cassette tape. And then I did. I was on 104.9 The X again several years later when I worked with Sam's Club Marketing. But from an official position, not right now. I don't know. Like it's so demanding. To put together a 3 or 4 hour show 5 days a week. Oh my God. Like this time of year, all you have to talk about is baseball. And let's just be real. The audience, yeah, there's a pretty good audience out there in the radio world. There's a pretty good audience out there for baseball. So that could carry you, but then you've got to get through the month of July and the early part of August. It's brutal. I just don't know. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how Bo Mattingly, love him or hate him, I don't know how Bo Mattingly accomplished what he accomplished. I really don't. Like, I thought I think we were spoiled with how good that show actually was. When you consider how difficult that is to put together a 3 hour show or 4, however long his was, I just don't know how he did it. And 5 days a week, too. I used to get it over Madden. Yeah, I'm going to be happy when the day comes when I don't have to buy another Madden. I'm so sick of Madden. So I'm tired of it. Don't do radio. It doesn't reach like the internet does. I can listen to them. Yeah, the only difference is the pay is a little different, right? Like, yeah, I have a sponsor, and I'm thankful for, direct service overhead. But I mean, yeah, I would probably make a little bit more doing radio, and it would be a consistent paycheck. I think they have health insurance, right? I don't have that stuff right now. Thankfully, my wife does, and we're covered. But, like, I don't have that stuff right now. What you have with that is a guaranteed paycheck. I don't have a guaranteed paycheck, right? That stability is something that, that's the advantage over what I do, right? But yeah. It should be only Series X and PS5. I hope not. I don't think that it will be. I think it'll be PS4, whatever the last, who cares? Xbox sucks. I'm sorry. But the last Xbox, whatever console that was that the Xbox S or whatever? I'm getting that age where I don't care anymore. Unless it's a PlayStation, I don't really care. If you don't have a PlayStation, then I hope you have a gaming PC. But yeah, I hope, and I feel like it'll still be on PS4 Pro it'll still be on the previous generation for sure. I have the face for radio. This is Patrick. Xbox way better. Can you name this generation like 5 games exclusives that you can only play on the Xbox? You can't. You can't, man. All they do is I feel so bad for Halo. Like, Master Chief has been done so many times over. I'm done with that story. I'm done. I was done after the third one. What else does that okay, Forza. All right, well, cool. Gran Turismo just came out, and it's badass. I don't know, man. PlayStation all the way. But, of course, gaming PC it's the best. But PlayStation exclusives are just they're on an entirely different level. I had a PS4 and an Xbox at one point. Now I got a PC. PC is the way to go. I would recommend a PS5 or a PS4 Pro and a gaming PC. That way you get the best of both worlds. I don't know why anybody buys an Xbox right now. I don't know what the point is. Just go get a decent PC. I get it. That's also easier said than done. I guess the reason why you buy an Xbox right now is because you can't get a pre-built PC. So maybe that's why you buy an Xbox. I don't know. Halo, Forza, and just bought Activision. I know they bought Bethesda, which is pretty cool. They're gonna get some really good games with Bethesda, but that's why you own a gaming PC, right? All right. What else did we have here? Let's scroll on down. Let's talk about really quick Arkansas taking on Stanford really fast, and we're gonna get into the recruiting. We got some pretty cool recruiting stuff coming up. this is a busy weekend for football, for Razorback football. And we're going to get to that here in just a second. But Arkansas taking on, I want to know, you guys tell me in chat, be honest, try not to be biased. Do you see Arkansas? Remember, they played Stanford earlier in the year. I get it. You have to scrub that game clean. But that was they blanked you. What was it, 5-0? They blanked the Hogs then. There's a lot of people who seem to believe that Stanford might be the team to beat in this College World Series, but there's also folks who believe that Arkansas might be the pick. Texas, Notre Dame. We kind of have we see what's going on there right now at the moment. But what do you think? Who if you've got $1,000 right now and you're about to put it down? Who are you taking this weekend? Who are you taking tomorrow at 1:00 on ESPN? You taking Arkansas or are you taking Stanford? I feel like I know where a lot of you are going to pick, and I'm probably right there with you. I'm gonna tell you, it is so freaking hard to pick a winner in Omaha. It really is, because everybody's coming in hot. Just Oklahoma today. Oh my God! It was 8-0 in like the second inning. I mean, it was damn near it was a football score. It was a low-scoring football game. And for baseball, that's a lot of runs, right? I think Arkansas's pitching, I think their middle relief has just been fantastic. I hope, Connor Nolan is expected to pitch tomorrow. I feel I'm going to take Arkansas. I just don't know who the hell to pick in the College World Series. I feel like you just take a dartboard and blindfold yourself and throw it, and you're going to land on one of those teams. And I don't know how you argue against any one of those outside of the way. Maybe A&M, because they look like crap early on, but then they found a way, and they pecked away at a big lead and tried to make it into a game. But still, and look. Just because they lost early, I mean, you don't count out teams that lose early in the College World Series. And then after you tell me who you pick between Arkansas and Stanford, I also want to know, do you have Arkansas? Don't tell me, you can if you want, but do you have Arkansas, if you're filling out a bracket, do you have them playing for it all? Do you have them in the final two teams standing? Tell me in chat. And if you're watching this after the fact, please tell me. And I hope for those of you who are driving down the road listening to this, I hope you'll go back and answer this when you pick up your phone. Go back and comment. We've been very inconsistent, so it's hard to be 100% confident. Razorbacks winning the World Series, says Patrick. Sean says our bats are rolling right now. I think, they're much better at the plate, and I would argue that if there's any consistency at all right now, it is absolutely hitting. I think if we get past Stanford in game 1, we have a shot to do this in 5. Our pitching and bats have come to life at the right time. Defense is back to midseason form. Alex Henderson's picking Arkansas. So there's our actual first pick. But we've had some other comments. But again, tell me down below in the comment section who you have between Arkansas and Stanford. And then I want you to tell me, do you have Arkansas? How far do you have them going in this thing? Do you have them playing for it all? Do you have them winning it all? I don't care. Just tell me how you think Arkansas performs. I have a Super Nintendo. The SNES was a good console, but I had more fun on the N64. I had way more fun on the N64. I just did. What up, Ty? Just got done cutting the yard. Oh Lord, if you're in Arkansas, I hope you stayed hydrated. And destroying wasp and hornets nest. Glad I caught your podcast. Appreciate it. It's not a podcast though. It's a show. Just call it a show. But I appreciate you, Frederick. I hope you stayed hydrated, my man. Okay. Well, anyways, so we're gonna move on. Let's get into this weekend and what's going on. Arkansas. Oh, by the way, we need to finish out what they're doing this weekend, who they're facing. Arkansas, in case you guys weren't aware of this, they're holding a .312 batting average throughout the tournament right now. They're playing at a really high level, but they're going to be facing Alex Williams. This guy has a 2.88 ERA in 97 innings this weekend. Again, that's Alex Williams, 2.88 ERA in 97 innings. Patrick says he's taking Arkansas. All right. Arkansas they beat Stanford. If we get past Stanford, I'd be a lot more confident. Yeah, that first win is huge. I agree. This weekend, Arkansas, how about Fayetteville? You got a whole bunch of guys that are on campus. Whole bunch of dudes. Remember, we talked about Luke Haas. Him and his brother are on campus. Arkansas offered his brother, I don't remember when. I want to say what was that, last month? That was sometime, what was that? Was that not May when they offered him? I don't know. I didn't look. They offered him sometime they offered him, but Luke Haas, remember, we thought he was going to Michigan. If you look at his profile on 247, that absolutely had him going to Michigan on an official visit, but he is here. I think he's supposed to be here. He's either here right now or he's here later. I don't know, but he's expected to be here. 4-star tight end, 6'3", 220, highly rated player. I mean, this kid, big-time prospect, considered one of the top 5, top 10 tight ends in all of high school football, top 2 player in the state of Oklahoma, top 100 player ranked, whether it's 247 or 247 composite. He's here. We got I looked at the DBs. Jalen Braxton, 4-star prospect. He just committed to Michigan State. He's out of Frisco, Texas. Again, he's a part of this 2023 class. About 6 foot, 170 pounds. Again, he's a 4-star, top 20, top 30 corner, depending on where you look. Top 50 player in the state of Texas. That's saying a whole lot, by the way. But Jalen Braxton is in town. He wants to at least check Fayetteville out. I believe this is his second visit. I believe. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. RJ Johnson, 3-star. I think he's a DB. They have him listed on 247 as an athlete, but he's out of McDonough. Is it McDonough, Georgia? Eagles Landing Christian Academy. But he just recently, and he's a 3-star, but he's considered on 247 a top 70 athlete. He just received a Florida offer, I believe, not that long ago. I reached out to find out if that was a committable offer, and no one really is 100% sure, but it sounds like it could be. He's a good-sized kid, 6'2", about 180, 185 pounds, somewhere in there. Good-sized. I think he's expected to play defensive back. That is the belief. Jeremiah Hughes, 6'1", 180-pound corner, 3-star offers, and I think they're all legit on the table. Committable offers, Arkansas, LSU, Utah, Washington. He's out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I believe Jeremiah is actually an Arkansas native. If I remember right, having that conversation with somebody, I'm pretty sure he's actually from Little Rock or somewhere. He's from Arkansas and moved to Las Vegas a little while back, but he plays at Bishop Gorman High School. Top 8 player in the state of Nevada on 247 or 247 composite. You've also got an offensive lineman, Ian Gefford, 6'6", 350 pounds, 3-star. He has an offer on the table from Auburn and Arkansas, among several others. Cody Kennedy is all over this kid. The expectation absolutely is going to end up playing tackle. I mean, he's a tall 6'6", at 350 pounds. I mean, that's a big dude right there. But he's out of Mableton, Georgia. Whitfield Academy. Going down the list here. Christian Ford, who's currently unranked, safety, 6'1", 6'1", about 190 pounds. Unranked, but his recruitment is starting to blow up, and he is a 2023 prospect. But sometimes kids, they just click at the right time. Considered a safety. I think he's one of those that can kind of play multiple positions in the DBs. With the DBs, he can play multiple, but is looked at strong safety. I believe 6 foot, again, 190 pounds. McKinney, Texas. We know all about that place. Unranked, but that is going to change probably pretty soon. And I believe it is expected he will commit. He could be one of those June commits that Otis Kirk was telling me about when we had him on the show on on Hogville. No, we had him over on Hogville Net YouTube. We brought him over, and we had a good little sit-down, little chat. Maybe he was talking about Christian Ford being a kid that commits this month. But, again, his recruitment blowing up. Arizona State have committable offers, and there's several others. but he's being recruited pretty heavily right now by Barry Odom, according to 247. And then you have Cole Adams, who's a 247 composite 4-star, but on 247 he's a 3-star. Alabama, Oklahoma lean, 5'10", 180-pound wide receiver. But Kenny Guyton is all over this guy. He's out of Owasso, Oklahoma. So, yeah, that's your list. That's your list of players that are on campus. Again, that's Christian Ford, Cole Adams, Luke Haas, Ian Gifford or Giffard. The last name's spelled funny. It's Geffrard. Giffard. Jeremiah Hughes, RJ Johnson, and Jalen Braxton. They're all on campus this weekend. So big weekend. Absolutely huge weekend. Elvin Gully with a $5 super chat. What's up, man? Arkansas got the matchup every team wanted in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Baylor. I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm sitting here reading my list of players that are on campus, and off to the side it has Baylor Big 12 SEC matchup. I was going to try and circle around to it, but look at you. You got me there, Elvin. Nice transition there. Yeah. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. That's a great matchup, and it's down there. It's at their place. I'm excited about that. I thought about doing a short edited video on Hogville Net YouTube about that. Actually, that's where the note came from, was to possibly that would be a subject to talk about. I love these Discord private servers. You guys have no idea. The only problem is if they go down, I'm in trouble. But thank you for the super chat, Elvin. I appreciate that. In Omaha, we got any recruits? No, I don't know what you mean by that, Cap. Are you asking, did any of those guys commit yet? Because if that's what you're asking me, no. They have not. What's up, Tony? How you doing, man? Do you enjoy interviews through Zoom or whatever? Like, what did you do with those, Kirk, or would you have chosen in-person interviews? No, I mean, I don't know. I have a vision. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I have a vision of doing in-person interviews. But we used StreamYard, and that's handy. I'll just say that. I'll leave it at that. But appreciate it. Tony, I love these. I love talking shop, man. I could sit and talk shop forever. Don't start me down that rabbit hole, because I will go down it. What's up, Ty? What have I missed? You missed it all, Ryan. You missed it all. We did not talk about the Arkansas-Baylor matchup until Elvin brought it up. I agree, man. What a draw. I'm excited for that. That's going to be that's a big one. I didn't see the other matchups, though, but I love who we got. Yeah, I think, and I agree, Baylor's going to be that's going to be that's going to be a fun matchup. I wish that was here to see that level of play with the kind of talent that Arkansas has on their roster, with Walsh and Smith and Black, and of course, Devo's coming back, and Devo's catching a little bit of preseason praise. I saw that somewhere. I don't remember where. I wish I bookmarked it, but I didn't. But to see those guys play Baylor inside Bud Walton would be awesome. But, I mean, it's going to be fun to watch them kick the hell out of the SEC anyways, no matter who they play. But imagine the draw, though. Imagine the draw bringing Baylor in with those guys. Just incredible. Someone asked about some crystal balls. There have been some crystal balls. TJ Metcalf, 6'1", 180 pounds, was given a crystal ball just on the 12th. Did we not talk about that? I thought we talked about that. Maybe not. No, we haven't talked since then, have we? I get mixed up. He's on an official visit. According to 247, we know how sketchy. I don't know. I haven't reached out to find out if he's actually on that visit or not. But he's on a visit to to Michigan State. And again, that's according to 247. I cannot verify that. 247 has missed. They missed with Luke Hawes when they said he was going to Michigan on an official visit. That wasn't true. They have him right now, in fact, today, according again to his profile, but he was given a crystal ball by Danny West, 6'1", 180-pound TJ Metcalf out of Pinson, Alabama. And then there was another one whose name I cannot pronounce. No. Wait. Tafasi. He committed to Florida State. Yeah. Okay, he committed to Florida State. He was given a crystal ball, but he ended up. So I can't pronounce his name. Ayobami Tafasi, that 6'4", 300-pound defensive tackle, big dude. He ended up committing to Florida State, but he was given a crystal ball by Danny West, so Danny got one wrong. And then Brad Spence was given a crystal ball out of Houston, Texas. And he's got some pretty decent offers: Cincinnati, California, Arizona State. But he's a consensus 3-star, 6'2", 225-pound edge rusher. Yeah, gonna tack on some weight or lose or get a little faster, play some outside linebacker. But he was on an official visit again. I believe he was here last weekend on the 10th. I think they've had right at a dozen kids on campus in the month of June. So it's either 12 or 13 kids they've had on campus in the month of June. And I believe that's before today. So then you're going to add these kids into that equation. So June is crazy. June is an absolutely crazy month. Devo's jacked. He's getting a lot of love, and he looked like he's hit the weight room. Looks like a physical tight end. Yeah, talking about Devo, he does. I agree. SEC teams are mad because there's a lot of repeat games: Texas versus Tennessee, Kentucky versus Kansas. Yeah, I haven't looked at that entire list, but I want to take a look at that and get to know it, because the SEC Big 12 matchups are really fun. I try to watch as many of those as I can. Been a while since we had a great defensive end. Yeah, I have this feeling they're just gonna have to rely on the portal. I don't know that they're. I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. But I feel like that might even be part of the plan, is they're just going to rely on the portal to kind of fill in that spot on the defensive line. We know that was the plan this year, and they may have to keep doing it. All right. So that was your list of visitors for the month. Or I'm sorry, for the weekend. If you guys have any questions or comments, hey, you need to join Discord. Come be a part of our Discord. Tuss Talk with Ty Discord, that is. Let me throw you the link here. There it is. Boom. If you want to join, you can ask if you have any questions or any comments, anything else that you want to say. Of course, leave them behind here in the comment section. But if you want to, I don't know, just join. There's some really cool features in that Discord. Again, we have the 2023 recruiting list, the 22 recruiting list. We've even got 24 up, although I haven't updated it since it's been a minute. But that's 2024. It's not like you have a lot to update there. But we have 2023 Hog football recruiting class. We've got that up. We've also got the Bobby Hopper transfer portal stuff, which is really challenging to keep up with. I feel like we're doing a really good job up until the last couple of months. And we've also got the Patreon page. If you're a Patreon supporter, you have access to a hidden server or hidden, whatever you want to call it, a hidden channel on the Tuss Talk server. And then, of course, we have the member list as well. So it's all there for you in Tuss Talk with Ty Discord. How was the trip to Galveston? It was good. It was really good. Really hot. Of course, it's hot everywhere. Had a lot of fun. I bought some new flip-flops that wore a freaking hole in my foot. They're real stiff. They're those cheapy and-one flip-flops you can buy at Walmart. Man, there's a hole on the top of my foot from those things. They're so damn stiff. But no, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. The beach was fun. Kids had a blast. That's what matters. Creating memories. We had a real good time. Thanks for asking. So the Haas brothers, a package deal. It certainly seems to be that way. Yeah, it looks to be that way. Yeah, it looks to be that way. I don't know that if he commits elsewhere, and if I have an update on that, I'll talk more this weekend. I'm going to be, So I haven't said anything yet, and you're talking about Dylan, by the way, Dylan Haas, who does have an offer to Air Force and Navy, by the way. 5'11", 180-pound athlete. What does he play? I'll be honest, I don't even know what he plays. I think he plays wide receiver out of Bixby. I think he plays wide out, right? Isn't he a little like a slot receiver, 5'11", 180-pound dude? Little, has some quickness to him. I don't know if it's a package deal or not. Tomorrow morning, I will be at the senior camp on campus. I'm excited about that. If I have, any updates I have from that will probably be, I'll share with you what I have here, but the exclusive stuff I'll put on Hogville Net, YouTube, and of course Otis Kirk and I will be side by side tomorrow morning, 9:00. Man, I'm looking forward to it. So you wish your boy luck. First time I've ever been able to do that. This will be the first press pass access I've ever had doing this. Tomorrow marks a first. I'm really excited about it. Randy Rainwater thinks Centennial will have more production than Hazelwood. Boy, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if Randy thinks that, I don't know. He could be on to something. I mean, it's not like he blew up at Oklahoma. And Centennial, I think the only thing that always crosses my mind with him is that he was not here during spring camp. Hazelwood was, right? Some of those other newcomers were. He's going to have to come in. He's going to be a little bit behind in the playbook come fall camp. The Battle for Atlantis teams were announced. What? What? I don't know what you're talking about, Tony. The battle for Atlantis teams were announced, and boy, is that going to be a tough matchup. You're going to have to fill me in, Tony. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm over here on Razorback stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, he's a receiver. Yeah, talking about Dylan. He's a wideout. You're right. Yeah, I think it wouldn't shock me to see a freshman come in and have an impact. I don't know. Maybe that's more of a conversation to have about Hazelwood, right? Like, he was a 5-star out of high school, but they never really got that production at Oklahoma. Not real like what they would probably expect. Is there more to that? Well, I know he's dealing with some injuries. I'm not really sure. It's a basketball tournament and it's stacked. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I haven't focused on basketball in a little bit. Arkansas is going to they're going to Europe. Did you guys see that? Yeah. Where are they going? Spain. I posted it on the community page. I'm in baseball and football right now. I'm not even in basketball mode. So it's a tournament and it's stacked. If you guys are in Discord, send me a link to that. I want to know what that is. DW says it's basketball time. Yeah, send me a link. If you're in our Discord, send me a link and I'll look into that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that is. Yeah, they're going to play some ball. Yeah. So Arkansas basketball is going to be busy during the offseason playing over there. Do we have dates on that, by the way? Let me pull up ArkansasRazorbacks.com really fast. Yeah, there's a date. Let's look at it really quick. Here we go. Razorback men's basketball to play in Spain and Italy. University of Arkansas men's basketball program will get an early start to the 2022-2023 season as the Razorbacks will play a total of 4 games on an 11-day trip to Spain and Italy from August 6th to the 16th. Now, see, I thought this would have been in September or early October or something. Wow. Okay. August 6th through the 16th. So we'll keep up with that. That'll be interesting. I wonder if they'll stream any of that. Wouldn't that be cool? Things work a little bit differently in Europe, though, right? So how this year it's the Maui Invitational. Next year it's the – oh. So that's next year's tournament. They're already. Wait, hold up. What? What is this? Why don't I know about this? Teams in North Carolina, Arkansas, Villanova, Michigan, Memphis, Oklahoma, Northern Iowa, Battle of Atlantis. So this is for 2023. This is for next year's. So this is instead of the Maui. Of course, we know every year there's that tournament setting. Okay, bro, you got to give me a heads up. Heads up on what? I was watching Malachi Singleton interview when he was at some type of camp, and they said he ran a 4.41. Yeah, Malachi is a faster. He's a faster, more finesse type runner than KJ. I think of KJ almost like not a dumpster truck, but like a big old Dodge Ram diesel. But not, we're not talking about a guy that's like 250, but I mean he's what, 235, right? Did he shed that weight they were talking about? I mean, he's a big dude, and his style as a runner, he's a big physical runner. That's what KJ is. Singleton is a little bit more like I don't know, maybe like a Ford Raptor. Built a little bit lower to the ground, but he's got speed to him. He's got like I don't know, man, a turbo V8 under the hood. But he's big, so he's not going to drop a 4.35 40. I don't know about the 4.4 40. I don't know. I'd like to see if that's laser or not. But listen, I'm not going to say that it's not true. I mean, I'd like to see if that's laser, but he looks fast. If you watch Malachi Singleton run the football, the way he tucks it, and he's downfield really fast. I think it's almost like he's somewhere in between KJ Jefferson and maybe a step behind like Malik Hornsby. Now, Malik Hornsby is a different kind of speed. Hornsby's just pure speed. But Singleton is more of a finesse type runner. And when I say he's in between KJ and Hornsby, he's still pretty far behind Hornsby because there's not very many quarterbacks that can move like him. But Singleton is just really fun to watch when he runs. Again, he's more of a finesse type runner, where KJ runs more like someone who's just going to run through you. Scott, well, appreciate the super chat, man. I didn't know you were doing a lot. Yeah, man, you just got to make sure you have the notification bell clicked to make sure you're subbed, which I know you are, Scott. It's just, yeah, remember, I don't do set times right now during the off season. It's just whenever I can go live. I always try to get a live in on Friday, though. And I owe you guys an hour, so I'm trying to keep this at an hour. Maybe it was fake advertising about the battle for Atlantis, but yeah, to my knowledge, next year's early season tourney. Yeah, I just don't know anything about it, but 2 or 3 other people said they knew about it, so there's got to be something to it. I'm going to have to look into that. I'm curious about that. But the Maui tournament is going to be fun, too. He has always been a composite 4-star, or who's that? I don't know. That's what they said. I hope it's true. That's a crazy 40 for someone at 6'1", 220. Yeah. Not real common to have someone that size. And he's like a tall 6'1", short 6'2", like 225. So probably closer to 220. I love the way he plays. And he fits this system, man. Golly, I hope Kendall Briles is here when he gets here. I hope it's so unheard of to have a coordinator somewhere for that long, but I'd love to see him stay here long enough and develop him in this system. I've heard is a better passer at this point in their career, both the KJ and Hornsby. Hornsby was never really known as a great passer in high school. That's not something you read very often. That's anyone I talked to about him said, yeah, he's got to work on passing mechanics a little bit. It does have a good arm, has arm talent, but not super accurate with the ball. When he misses by a mile, tends to overshoot players, which we've seen. I've seen him practice now so much in spring scrimmage, watched him twice in both the scrimmages last year, and then this year, of course, we saw it on television. We saw him line up at wide receiver a lot. But, yeah, he's never really been known as a great passer. It's always been if someone could develop his game, when you're talking about as a passing quarterback, he could just be really deadly. Now he does have good arm talent. He's got the strength. He's got a pretty strong arm. You wouldn't think that. We're not talking about a 6'4", 6'5", long-armed quarterback. I mean, he's built a little bit lower to the ground, but yeah, I have heard that too, though, Elvin. I have heard that he's further ahead in his development as a high school quarterback than anybody we have on campus right now, and I'm really excited about Malachi. I don't know. I don't know. I still trust Hornsby to take over after KJ leaves. I mean, if he gets his throwing down, he has a super high ceiling. I agree. Younger Haas is a corner. Alex, I think he plays both ways. I think he plays corner and wide receiver. Have you got your too early prediction for football? No, I haven't. I want to do it next week. I've been putting it to the side, putting it off. I want to do it. I'm trying to get it. My wife will be in Vegas, I think, all next week, and I'm going to have the kids all next week. So I'd like to get that out next week if I can. I would love to do it too early, wins and losses. I'll let you know. If I don't do it on Monday, I'll let you know on Monday. Make sure you remind me when you ask me, though. Hornsby's going to be a stud. Just got to wait. They got to figure out what the hell they want to do with him, because I don't know, man. I mean, he's not taking hits when they line him up at wide receiver. And I think that's always concerning to me when you hear about a player who, okay, well, we're going to move him positions, but we're still protecting him because he's our backup quarterback, which you got to do. But we're also talking about moving him to wide receiver, but we're not going to let him take hits because he's our backup quarterback. There's just something to it's why you allow physical contact in practice. Anyone who's ever played football, any of you who've ever played football, you understood that there's a way to take a hit and a way to anticipate that hit and the way to react. When you're not doing that and you're leaving your body exposed and you don't know, you've forgotten how to absorb a blow, it could do some serious damage. I mean, you can get hurt. And not only that, you're going to fumble the damn football if you have the ball in your hands. So I don't know. They've got to figure out what the hell they're trying to do with him. Either move him to wide receiver and develop another quarterback, or stick him at, QB2. And I don't have a problem with running some wildcat stuff with him, but the talk of, it sounded to me like during the offseason, a lot of the conversation was he's going to play some wide receiver. In fact, when they talked about him coming out of the portal, that was something Sam Pittman specifically discussed. It wasn't just hey, we're going to use you in some funky formations like we did against Penn State, or some wildcat stuff where you and KJ are on the field. There's legitimate conversation, and we saw it where he's lining up at wide receiver. So to me, you need to figure out what the hell you're trying to do with him. And that always concerns me when you're moving a guy back and forth. And not only that, it wasn't that long ago you had a player leave who, kid's name is slipping my mind now, out of a small town in Arkansas, played defensive end. They moved him to tight end. They moved him back to defensive end. They moved him back to tight end. Forgot his name. Someone's going to have to bail me out. You know who I'm talking about. Someone knows. He transferred. His mom took to Twitter and kind of made a comment about moving positions, and someone replied to her, I believe, saying, yeah, they moved him to one spot to another. He replied, and he said, yeah, and then back to defensive end or back to tight end. I don't know that players are always on board with that. You need to – they're flexible, and it's not uncommon to have, especially DBs, play multiple positions in the defensive backfield, right? You're going to play strong, free safety. You're going to play nickel. They're doing that with Slusher. They've done that. They did that with Bishop, moving him to each side, but stuck him mostly at corner. That's not entirely unheard of. But from quarterback to wide receiver or tight end to defensive end, those are two entirely different positions, man. You guys know that. You're here. You understand that. So I hope whatever they do, I hope he's happy with it. But I hope they stick him somewhere and let him develop wherever you're going to put him. If you're going to put him at wide receiver, put him at wide receiver, let him develop there. If you're going to put him at QB2, let him develop there. That's my rant, and I'm sticking to it. Blaine Toll, thank you for bailing me out. Yeah, he wasn't real thrilled. And I heard that even before he took to Twitter. We had a conversation here about that, how the belief was at the time. He wasn't really on board with it. And then what do you know? He hits the portal, and then he's talking about it a little bit on Twitter. KJ running over people scares me to be completely honest. Our offense without KJ is a lot worse. I agree 150%. Without theirs, I think our offense relies on KJ more than the average offense. You could probably say that about several schools, though. Hooker at Tennessee. You know, and I don't know their quarterback situation. I'm sure their fans probably look at it as they're probably skeptics the same way we are, but, you know, when you're talking about the quarterback depth. But, yeah, I agree, though. I think you're right. KJ he's the bull in this offense, man, and how physical and how much they use him to run. I mean, what did he average? 14 attempts a game or something running the football? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I think it was something like it was somewhere between like 10 to 14 rush attempts a game, and he's not the type of guy to avoid contact. QB2 has got to be settled in, and that's my point. I've just like many of you, I followed college football for a number of years, and when you don't have that number 2 solidified, when you're talking about moving this guy to different positions, that doesn't really mean that he's excelling at one or the other. I get it. They want to utilize his strengths, his athleticism, his speed. There's too much there. He's raw talent. I get it. But if that's the case and you want to utilize his talent, then you need to have him on the field as much as possible, and that means you need to develop him at wide receiver 2 or slot receiver. Whatever you're trying to do with him, you need to develop him there if that's your focus. Did you hear about Mike McCarthy getting in trouble? Yeah, he was too physical. Yeah, I remember that. Thanks for the show. Oh, yeah, Patrick. Thank you, man. Thanks for being here. Desi Seals looks completely different without his dreads. I saw that. He shaved his head. What did he do that for? The only weakness the offense has until proven otherwise is wide receiver if they step up. The O will be last year Ole Miss explosive. I think they have it in them to be there. I don't disagree with that. They have it in them to be at that level on offense. They do because KJ's back. Now he's got a lot of starting experience under his belt, and he has an entire year under his belt. I like the ceiling that the receivers have, right? The overall talent ceiling there is in real good shape. I just don't know. I really couldn't tell you who for sure wide receivers 1 through 4 are. Like, yeah, okay, Warren Thompson, Hazelwood, probably Centennia. Maybe we see, I'm blanking on some names now. Keytron Jackson, I'm sure, will be in there. I think Keytron actually could be. You talk about production. I wonder if Keytron Jackson's not the guy. But I don't know for sure. Like, I felt this way last year going into the season, and you saw how that ended up, right? Of course, you had some stuff happen along the way, but it was Treylon Burks soaking up so much of the production in the passing game. I don't know if they definitely don't have a Treylon Burks on the roster, but I mean that's first round talent. Not very many teams have that on their roster. Not what he was, right? Plenty of teams pump out great wide receivers. Ohio State does it year in and year out. Alabama does it year in and year out. Oklahoma, but I don't know. I just don't feel right now. I'm not saying I'm worried about the wide receiver room. I just don't know how it's going to look when the dust settles in terms of production and where they actually end up. You know, who's threat 1, who's threat 2, who's threat 3. So really, I guess that's what I should say. Those are going to be your guys, right? Hazelwood, Warren Thompson, Jackson, maybe Centennia, maybe it's Quincy McAdoo, maybe it's Samuel Bakke, who I really like, by the way. After he catches the ball, go watch his film. I mean, he's physical, man. He's a specimen. I really hope he works out and can stay healthy. So I don't know what the production's going to look like when the dust settles. But, yeah, those are going to be your guys. I'm still a little bit I'm always concerned when someone misses out because of whatever, but they're unable to participate during spring camp, especially when they're freshmen. Good news is Centennial is right down the road. He's, it's not like it's a huge deal. Warren is too drop prone. You're not wrong there. Hazelwood, Jackson, Centennial, and Quincy is my hope. And that could be right. And you're not wrong. Warren drops the ball a lot. I think you can make the argument no one has a trail on right. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, it feels special because it happened to Arkansas, but Treylon Burks isn't exactly super rare in college football. It feels that way because he was here, because he was a first-round prospect. But I could tell you there's several schools who will have someone as talented or maybe more so than Treylon Burks, and he's on their, they have their version of that on their team as we speak. It's neat, and we see it because we had firsthand exclusive footage of him and exposure to him and all that. He's special to us. He's our first modern era first round wide receiver. That felt really special to us. We feel like there is no other Treylon Burks, but that's wrong. There is. Don't get me wrong. Big dude, plenty of speed. I hope he battles through his asthma. That's really unfortunate, but I think he's going to be just fine with the Titans. But he is a freak of nature, though. He is a freak of nature. But I don't know that he's not a Matt Jones, Darren McFadden, that level of talent. But I don't think he's far behind. I think he's going to have a great NFL career, man. If he can battle through his asthma, oh my God, he fits the Titans like a glove. His production should be great, man. I mean, I'm looking at my fantasy roster this year, and is Burks someone I might draft? Is Treylon Burks someone that is he going to be one of the, and there's a lot of good rookie receivers this year. Obviously, there were a bunch taken in the first round. But Burks, because of his production, because, they lost their guy or they traded him away or whatever, Burks is going to have some crazy production next to Woods, assuming Woods can stay healthy. Still wish we would have got to see what Childs was going to be in the NFL. Dude was a beast. Yeah, until he got hurt. Until he had that injury against Vanderbilt. He was never the same. At minimum, the wide receivers have to be good enough to prevent stacked boxes. Yeah, no, you're right. Imagine if we had a first-round quarterback. The state would go crazy. Yeah, and I wouldn't put KJ in the first round. I do think KJ, if he builds off of what he did a year ago, KJ could absolutely be a late second, third round, fourth round kind of talent. He's somewhere in there just simply because of his size, his athleticism, his speed, his arm strength. He's got his deep ball accuracy is really high. We're just going to need to see him, spread his wings a little bit more in the passing game this year. And if he does that, I don't think he comes back for another season. I think he's going to go pro. Would still probably put him in like the third or fourth round at that point, but you never know. Bakke is very, very much like Burks. Don't sleep on that kid. Similar size and skill set. Yeah. I don't know if he's as dangerous as Burks after the ball. That's part of what I think makes Burks also pretty dangerous that a lot of people didn't talk enough about. But he is dangerous after the catch, though. I mean, I don't know, man. If he remain coachable, be patient, work your way to the top, Samuel Bakke could be special here. I've been high on this kid since before he committed. I know he dropped a star shortly before he committed to Arkansas, but I think he's a special kind of talent. Again, I'm not saying he's going to be Burks. I'm not saying that. He could also be someone in the first couple of years make a pretty good impact. Maybe year two. I don't know about this year just yet, just simply because of the names in that receiving room, but you never know. You never know, man. But having to deal with Quincy McAdoo, who's a pretty good receiver, man. Pretty good receiver out of high school. Isaiah Centennial, who's a speed freak. That room the potential is so high in the receiving room. It's just so unproven at the same time, right? It's like you've got all this talent, but it's also so damn unproven. Like we don't really know what we're getting in Hazelwood. Warren Thompson is Butterfingers. I mean, the guy, he's an athletic freak. He's built. You want to talk about someone who's built like Burks and a similar skill set? It's Warren Thompson. I mean, Warren Thompson was a big time prospect out of high school. Eventually followed Kendall Briles here. He's got Butterfingers. His catch radius is also kind of limited for someone that size. He's not someone who you see very often, and hopefully that changes this year, but not someone you really see jump super high into the sky and to grab the ball out of the air or go up and grab many 50-50 jump balls or make that fantastic catch on the sidelines. It's not, but like his skill set though after the catch is where someone like Warren Thompson should excel. Pretty quick for someone that size too. I don't know where you'd put him on the team in terms of speed, but his athletic capability is really high. I would honestly say he's the closest to Treylon Burks on this roster compared to anybody, including Samuel Bakke. Of course, Bakke is a freshman. Do you think we only take one quarterback this year? And next, with how thin and improving the quarterback room is, no, they're going to take two this year. I've had multiple people tell me this. They're going to take two. They're going to take, they've got Malachi. More than likely, they'll go transfer portal. Now, they may wait. They may wait to see what KJ does. With the assumption that KJ leaves, I still feel like even if he doesn't, they're going to take two quarterbacks. Do you think that teams this upcoming year might want to run the ball down our throats, given how unproven our front seven is? Well, the good news here, and we pointed this out a couple of weeks ago, you guys did in live chat, they actually added some size. I worry about the quality depth. Me and that good old quality depth and how it matters. I think that's a saying here. Quality depth matters. I think they have size. They don't have a Ridgeway, I don't think. At the same time, we didn't know we had Ridgeway until we realized we had Ridgeway, right? So thanks to the portal, it's so difficult to predict what guys are capable of doing now. These transfers are a little bit older and they're coming from a different conference or they're coming from an entirely different system. They come here, sometimes they fit just like a glove the way that Ridgeway did. I don't know if the Mizzou guys fit here at all. I realize they played under Odom and all that. I get it. I just never was really high on either of those, Trey Williams and on the other the hell's that kid's name? The other Mizzou transfer, again, brain fart. You know who I'm talking about. I don't know that either of those two guys really worked out here. I guess the biggest X factor this year kind of makes you wonder, is Cam Ball prepared? Like, is Cam Ball going to be the guy? Can he be the guy this year? Can he be someone they rely on? Because, the Torrent Carter, just a blow, man. And I agree with Otis Kirk on this. I do not see him playing maybe the very end of the season if they want to burn his medical hardship, I think is what he could apply for if they choose to. Of course, he's also got the COVID year that he gets back. But that Torrent Carter loss was huge. The Torrent Carter loss was absolutely huge. I think it was big. And I already think before his loss, the defensive line was sus. Now it's like, ooh. But they added some size. They added some strength. We'll just see. Sometimes you have that Armon Watts out of nowhere come up and just he doesn't really do anything until his final year or whatever, till he's about, he's at the exit door and all of a sudden he's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to have a monstrous final year. You never know. That could happen with one of these guys. Utsy. God. Brain fart on so many names. I'm trying to get back in the groove of things. Can you tell when you're in vacation mode and then you come back to it, that's something else my All right, that's pretty funny. Trey Flowers was a beast. Yeah, Trey Flowers was. Trey Flowers is what you need. They need pass rush this year. I'm always a little bit concerned. The good news is you're going to have Drew Sanders and Bumper Pool to help clog up the run. To answer your question, Tony, they've got good linebackers, and I feel pretty good about the guys behind them. I really do. Like and some of them are a little younger, but I feel pretty good. I'm not like over the moon, but I feel like they actually could have decent depth there. Now, if you lose Bumper, you're going to see a huge drop in production from the defense and that level of the defense. And you could say the same thing about Drew Sanders. I think Drew Sanders is going to end up being the newcomer of the year. I do. I think Drew Sanders is going to be the newcomer of the year. Maybe in all of the SEC. Look at the production. The guys like Morgan and Bumper and Henry, right? These guys, now Bumper Pool was a 4-star, but Drew Sanders is a level of talent Arkansas does not get very often at linebacker. He didn't lose his job outright at Alabama. It was a very similar situation what happened with Felipe Franks at Florida. He got hurt. Someone came in, and their minds were blown out how good that player was. So he transfers here. Drew Sanders, I think, could end up being on the short list of some of the best transfers in the SEC. Maybe one of the best on defense. One of the best transfers. If he stays healthy and is fully bought in, this kid's numbers are going to be unreal. I absolutely think that's something that could happen. Now, he's going to have to compete with Bumper Pool because we know how good Bumper Pool is. He just hogs up so many tackles, and Sanders is going to have to beat him, to the whoever's got the ball in their hands, running back, tight end, receiver, whatever, quarterback. But Drew Sanders could he could just have a monstrous year. I believe he's going to end up being the transfer of the year, at least for Arkansas. Now that's a pretty crowded room. You still got the 2 DBs, LSU and Georgia transfers. You got Hazelwood on offense. You've got some studs. You still got the kid out of LSU, the defensive lineman Jackson. I don't know where he's at right now, but I think Drew Sanders is going to be. I think he could be. Again, he's got to stay healthy. Could be really special. Daytona Beach, what's up, man? Happy premeditated Father's Day. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Kids are down in Beebe, Arkansas this weekend with my wife. So I'm home alone all weekend. I'm gonna go light this bad boy up right here. Maybe tonight or tomorrow. I haven't made up my mind. Open up. I bought a it's called is this not the this is the Maduro. Okay, I already smoked the no, it is. Okay. I thought it was someone else's brand of Maduro. Okay, it's my father's. I've never heard of them. My Father's Cigars. I might smoke it tomorrow. Yeah, Father's Day is Sunday, right? Maybe I'll wait to smoke it till Sunday. No, I'll probably end up smoking it tonight or tomorrow. I haven't had a cigar. I had a cigar down in Galveston, but that was like 3 nights ago. So I'm gonna smoke one tonight. All right. Back to our receivers. We also got the kid from Georgia that went to Toledo. Landers. Yeah, well, you never know. You never know. Yeah, you're not wrong. Is Landon Jackson good to practice? He will be in fall camp, Mike. Yeah, he should be good to go. Rest in peace, Celtics. I'm going to pretend like I didn't see that. Oh, that's Cuban, says Scott. Is it? I thought he said these were. The tobacco was. No, it's not Cuban. He said it was in. It wasn't Cuban. No, I don't think so. I don't know. Then again, I'm not so sure that guy knew what he was talking about. If I'm being honest, he was nice, but looks like it's wrapped in Mary Jane. No, it's not wrapped in Mary Jane. It's not. All right, I think that's it. Ash says that the guy that replaced Sanders was a generational talent from what I've seen from him. Gets overlooked because of Will Anderson, though. Yeah, Will Anderson's legit. Tatum ain't show up, and Curry is just different. It is what it is. It is what it is, but I like that. I like that Boston didn't get swept like people were saying. They were down for a period of time this year, and they made it to the finals. I mean, a few months ago, I definitely did not have them going this far. They proved me wrong too, but a lot of doubters, they proved a lot of people wrong. I was glad that they made it into a decent series. Looks fancy. Yeah, well, I had one the other night. I've already smoked one. It was different. This is the Maduro. I had a different one, and it's thick, but it's good. All right, I think we listen. Hour and almost 20 minutes. We were gone. We were due kind of a longer stream, and I'm glad we could do it. I plan on doing a post-game show tomorrow after the game. That is the plan. If anything changes, I'll let you know in Discord. But I do appreciate you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff. Yeah, I'll be at the camp tomorrow. I already told you guys that. I'll be at the senior camp tomorrow on campus at the U of A. Very, very first chance to be considered a member of the media, to have a quote-unquote press pass. It's going to be really neat. I guess not technically. I did get press credentials for the Ladybacks for women's basketball, but this just feels different. This is the goal here. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to have a lot of fun tomorrow. All right. Woo pig, and I will more than likely see you tomorrow after the game. Go Hogs.
For all things garage door. From garage door repair and broken spring replacement to new garage doors and openers, we do it all. We're proud to be among the highest rated local garage door companies in all of Central Arkansas. Our highly trained technicians are available 24 hours a day at no extra cost to you. So if you have an emergency, call us today, 501-244-3667, or visit our website at directserviceoverhead.com. Don't wait days. We'll fix it now.